a mentor, a brother, a friend. Michael, who was the center of my world for so long. Michael Jackson was gone. I'd first met Michael when I was 4 years old, and it hadn't taken long for him to become a close friend of my family's, visiting our home in New Jersey, spending Christmases with us. As a child, I spent many vacations at Neverland, both with the rest of my family and alone. As teenagers, my brother Eddie and I had joined Michael to keep him company on the Dangerous Tour. When I was 18, having grown up with Michael as a mentor and a friend, I went to work for him, first as his personal assistant, then as his personal manager. To be honest, I didn't ever have a clear title for my position, but it was always personal. I conceived the idea for a network television special honoring his 30 years in show business. I was alongside him as he made the Invincible album, and when Michael was falsely accused of child molestation for the second time, I was named an unindicted co-conspirator. The pressure of that trial was more than any friendship should be expected to bear. For nearly all my life, until Michael's death, over 25 years in all, I was with him in one capacity or another, through ups and downs, struggles and celebrations, always as a close friend and confidant. Knowing Michael was both an ordinary and extraordinary experience. From the very beginning, almost after all, I was only 4, I knew that Michael was special, different, a visionary. When he walked into a room, he was captivating. There are plenty of special people in the world, but Michael had a magic about him, as if he were chosen, touched by God. Wherever he went, Michael created experiences, his concerts, his Neverland estate, his midnight adventures in far-flung cities. He entertained stadiums full of people, but at the same time, he was a regular expected presence. I always appreciated the moments we shared, but I never looked at him as a superstar. He was my friend, my family. I knew I wasn't living a traditional life, not compared to what my friends were doing. I knew this was not normal, but this was my normal. It was no accident that when I heard the news of Michael's death, I walked away from my friends and family. From the very beginning, I kept my relationship with Michael to myself. His fame required that his friends be discreet. When I was a kid, it was easy enough to compartmentalize. I had one life, at home in New Jersey, going to school, playing soccer, occasionally bussing tables and cooking at my family's restaurants, and another with Michael, having adventures, hanging around. The two never intersected. I did my best to keep them separate. When I started working for Michael, I moved into a completely confidential world, and the rest of my life took second place, nor the everyday details of what had to get done, not the darkest moments, false accusations, and insane media spectacle, not the joyful moments of helping children and making music. Living in Michael's world was a rare and special opportunity, of course, and that is why I stayed there. But without my realizing it, the discretion affected me. From a very young age, I trained myself not to talk freely. I kept everything inside and suppressed most of my reactions and emotions. I was never 100% open or free. That's not to say I lied, except, I'll admit, when I was working for Michael and told people I had just met that I was a door-to-door Tupperware salesman, and that I was very proud of the plastic we manufactured, or that my family was from Switzerland and was in the chocolate business. With my close friends and family, I never lied. But when it came to my experiences with Michael, I chose every word I said very carefully. Michael was a private person, and so am I. I didn't want to call attention to myself or to have people look at me differently because of my connection to Michael, and I certainly didn't want to be the source of any gossip about him. There was plenty of that already. Speaking is revealing.